So last week I did a video on the OC, and it got me thinking about other shows from that time that were insanely popular, but for whatever reason I just didn't watch. Now, Smallville started in 2001, you know, back when there were only a couple superhero shows instead of like, I don't know, 50. Much like Gotham, Smallville was interesting because it wasn't just like, superhero does super stuff. It took the Superman universe and kind of put everyone like in high school and told a sort of origin story or whatever. Now, like I said, I never actually watched this back in the day, even though everyone else did. So now that it's been almost 20 years since Smallville debuted, let's take a look and see how it holds up today. The show starts out with Mom and Pop Kent buying flowers from a lady who apparently doesn't own a mirror, but more importantly, we meet the creepiest kid I've ever seen.
That is a beautiful dress, Lana. Are you a princess?
I'm a fairy princess.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, what's up with this kid?
Do you want to make a wish?
I would love to make a wish.
I don't know about you, but when I hear her say, "Do you want to make a wish?" all I hear is,
"Do you want to play a game?"
After this, they're driving off to who knows where, and BAM! Meteor shower. They crash their car, things are looking bad, and if that wasn't enough, they find a naked little boy just hanging out in a cornfield. So after this, we fast forward to today, or I guess 2001. The early 2000s. You know, back when every guy was wearing Janko jeans and every girl was convinced by Avril Lavigne that being obnoxious was somehow endearing. Anyway, now we meet Clark Kent. Clark here wants to try out for the football team, but his parents, shockingly, aren't too thrilled about the whole idea.
Permission slip. It's for the football team. A couple spots open up. They're having tryouts this afternoon. Come on, Dad. You played football in high school?
That was different, son.
Why?
Because back then I didn't stay up all night watching My Little Pony reruns like you little wuss.
Clark, I know this has got to be really hard for you, but you got to just hang in there like we promised.
All I want to do is go through high school without being a total loser.
Hey, I hear you, man. I tried everything I could think of to show the kids how cool I was back in high school. You know, like, I brought my Game Boy Advance SP to school every single day. No big deal. I even tried to dress up like the coolest guy I knew. But would you believe nothing worked? Later that day at school, we meet Clark's two best friends, who for some reason are like half his size.
I don't think signing up for the team is such a great idea.
Clark, listen. This is the only way.
Wait. You two are trying out for the football team?
We're trying to avoid becoming this year's scarecrow.
What are you talking about? Why are we whispering?
It's a homecoming tradition. Every year before the big game, the football players select a freshman, take him out to Riley Field, strip him down to his boxers, and then paint an S on his chest.
Then string him up like a scarecrow.
You know, a lot of people, myself included, talk about the whole, like, good old days of the 90s or the 80s or, like, I don't know, the 50s or whatever. But everyone just so conveniently forgets that back then, you could just literally set kids on fire. And as long as you called it a freshman hazing, like, hey, it's totally fine. Nobody cared. Now, Clark over here is in love with Lana Lang. But whenever he gets close to her, he gets weak at the knees and his head spins and all that stuff. You know, just like me every time I try to ask any girl to any school dance ever. Hey, Jessica. Huh? Would you like to...
Need to. Didn't realize you had a dark side, Clark.
Doesn't everybody?
Yeah, I guess so. So what are you? Man or Superman?
You get the joke, guys. You get Smallville, Superman, young Superman's not Superman. Yeah, you get the joke. Talking about Superman, you get the joke. Hilarious. So later that day, Lex Luthor hits Clark with his car. They fall into the river. Clark saves him, and you'd think that would be a great thing, right? But his parents are worried that now people might find out about Clark. And of course, Clark himself doesn't really know the truth about how he used to, like, I don't know, run around naked in cornfields or whatever. So it's all just a big to-do. So Clark's dad decides it's finally time to come clean and tell Clark what's really going on.
I want you to take a look at something. I think it's from your parents, your real parents.
What does it say?
Well, let's just get our little orphan Annie decoder glasses on and, oh, come on!
Your real parents weren't exactly from around here.
Where are they from? What are you trying to tell me, Dad? That I'm from another planet?
What? Other planet? No, son, you were born in Florida. Which is kind of the same thing, actually, now that I think about it. Anyway, Clark's dad shows him the spaceship he arrived in, and Clark's response is to go and hang out in a cemetery, like you do, I guess. And then Lana just kind of shows up, which, I mean, sure, like, I get it. You know, you're the head cheerleader, you're dating your local football dudes. Like, I mean, why wouldn't you hang out in cemeteries in the middle of the night? You know what I'm saying? And just when you think things can't get much weirder, guess what she does next? Y'all ready for this? She then proceeds to introduce him to her dead parents. Yep.
Mom? Dad? This is Clark Kent. Say hi.
Hi.
Yeah, he is kind of shy. How should I know? Mom wants to know if you're upset about a girl.
You know, Lana, you're lucky you're really attractive and all that, because, like, I'm trying to look past a whole lot of things right now. This is a lot to take in. You know, usually in these kind of shows or movies or whatever, the pretty girl has some kind of, like, really benign secret, like, I actually like the nerdy guy, or, I don't know, like, she's into some kind of uncool thing that could ruin her if people found out. But I gotta say, talking to dead parents in a cemetery at night was pretty low on the list of what I was expecting.
What's that, Mrs. Lang? Yeah, I'll tell her.
Your mom says don't bother going to church anymore? Turns out the ancient Greeks were right the whole time. She says she's playing backgammon with Zeus in like 20 minutes. Anyway, so Clark takes her home, she kisses him on the cheek, and her boyfriend sees the whole thing. Now finally we get wind of the monster of the week. This episode is the original Scarecrow kid who's now going around taking down jocks who bullied him 12 years ago.
His name is Jeremy Creek. This is a picture of him 12 years ago. This is one I took 4 hours ago.
That's impossible. He'd be like 26 today. Must be a kid who looks like him.
My money was on the evil twin theory, till we checked his missing persons.
Jeremy disappeared from the state infirmary a few days ago where he'd been in a coma for 12 years. They say he suffered from massive electrolyte imbalance.
Okay, wait. Massive electrolyte imbalance? You tell me this dude got superpowers from drinking too much Gatorade? After this, Clark ends up being chosen to be the new Scarecrow, and he would fight back, but Lana's necklace, which she just so happened to give to her boyfriend, has some kind of green stone that makes Clark lose his powers. Wait a minute, so all those people on Facebook trying to sell me magic crystals were telling the truth? And I can earn money from home if I just get 5 friends to sign up? What a deal! Anyway, so in the end, Clark tries to stop this Jeremy guy from doing whatever it is he was gonna do with the homecoming dance, but actually Jeremy just overloads himself and Clark doesn't actually, do anything. This show is pretty old, right? So I was expecting the usual cheese, like weird slang, weird fashion, bad CG, that kind of thing. But like this show, at least here at the beginning, is just so weird. Like you can tell this show was made long before TV studios discovered the superhero TV show formula that every other show is now. I do have to give it credit though, because like first of all, this show went on for 10 seasons, which is impressive. But it was also one of the first to do a lot of things at the time. If you look at shows today like Vampire Diaries, Teen Wolf, or like things like that, there's definitely some influence from Smallville. And of course, Buffy before that. Not to mention it's kind of indirectly responsible for the whole Arrowverse thing, I guess. But still, it's one of those shows that was really important for the road it paved, but like, it really has not aged well at all. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Of course, we have some Smallville merch in the store. We got this Superman hat snapback thing. We got blue, red, or black. We got a couple jackets from the show. So, if you're interested, go ahead and check it out. You can use the promo code Alex, gives you free worldwide shipping. So anywhere you live in the world, we ship it to you. So it's just there if you're interested. Maybe support the channel, maybe get a new hat, whatever. Something I talk about a lot when I do these shows, because I tend to do a little bit older type shows. I do newer shows now and then too, like Netflix is coming up. Like, next week I'm doing Sierra Burgess is a Loser on Netflix. So look forward to that. But anyway, doing older shows like Pretty Little Liars, Vampire Diaries, of course OC last week, and of course Smallville. I don't know, at the time when people watched these shows, it's like everyone liked them and that was like considered normal. Like these shows, like the acting, the special effects, the writing, it was like, oh yeah, this is great. And then you go back, I mean, Smallville's now, like I said, almost 20 years. But other shows like, Pretty Little Liars, which is only, 7 or 8 years old, and you go back and you're just like, man, like we all just looked past a whole lot of stuff back then. Like, did we just not know better back then, or were our standards lower? Like what was it exactly? Like, not that they're terrible shows, and Smallville's not a bad show either. It's just like, like nowadays there's so many shows like Smallville, right? High school kids have superpowers and they have to live their high school life while also fighting crime and trying to get their crush to notice them. Like, it's like every show on TV now. But like back at the time of Buffy, and then of course a little bit later with Smallville, it's like, this wasn't really normal yet, and so they were still trying to figure things out. But a lot of people look back on these shows very fondly, but back before the formula was perfected, people were still trying to figure out what to do. And it's kind of interesting how nowadays every show's exactly the same, but you can trace back exactly where they all started, you know. Anyway, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell, because, you know, sometimes YouTube does some funny things. Follow me on Twitter, tell me what was your favorite part, or what's a show you want me to do, or just come say hi, I don't know, whatever. Follow my dog Charlie on Instagram, Charlie Meets Pumpkin. My wife posts there almost every single day, so you get a little extra Charlie in your life. Anyway, above all else, have a great day, everybody, and I'll see you all next time.